What is up, you heathens and demons? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and today we get to look at some old school Girl Defined.
Hey girls, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girl Defined Ministries, and in today's vlog we want to share with you 6 guys you shouldn't date, court, or marry.
I mean, first off, let's state the obvious. Bethany and Kristen are totally a lot hotter back then. I mean, they've aged rapidly. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I count my blessings that I've had this baby face, 40 years old, and now I'm starting to show my age.
No! I was like, what am I gonna say? I can't think of an example.
But it's taken quite a while, you know, so, they're hot back then. Let's get that out of the way. A lot cuter than they are now. Bethany's manic depression from being single through her 20s has obviously gotten to her, and the marriage life hasn't been quite so kind to Bethany. But you know, they're still cute, they're still not ugly, but they're definitely much cuter when they're younger. I mean, I think we all are, so it's not like I'm talking shit. They'll probably take it that way, and their fans will probably take it that way, but it's, hey, that's fucking life, right? We're beautiful when we're young, and as we age, we show our age.
I remember being a young girl and kind of thinking that every guy was probably pretty much amazing, and thinking that, oh, when I grow up, it'll be, you know, kind of easy to find like an awesome, godly guy. Then I hit 18, 19, 20, and realized, you know what? There are a lot of really awesome, godly guys out there, but there are also a lot that are just not quite so awesome, just in their journey of life and spiritual journey, not quite where they need to be.
So here we have Bethany and Kristen establishing themselves, establishing their base. This is when they first started out. I mean, they a lot less subscribers than they have now, and they're talking to young women, and they're gonna give them a list of guys that they shouldn't date or marry. And really, while there is nothing wrong with this, people should give advice to young people. I am not quite certain that Bethany and Kristen are the ones that should be giving advice to these young women. I think Bethany and Kristen have been indoctrinated into an evangelical cult mentality and shouldn't really have a platform talking to young women as a role model figure. You know, they should be quite blatant, and there should be a fucking caption saying cultist propaganda or some shit. You know, I'm very blatant. You don't come to the Raging Atheist expecting to find some wholesome shit, you know what I'm saying?
Very difficult if you know that I'm saying nothing and this is retarded.
But put that aside, I mean, that's their thing. Who the fuck are they? I mean, at this age, really, to be giving advice to anybody. They haven't lived yet. Kristen's just gotten married not too long ago, doesn't understand that hubby's gonna start making her pray every goddamn night before they go to bed. You know, I mean, I'm sure she pretends like she likes that shit, but that shit's weird. That shit's weird. And you can kind of see where she's aged in the lines and the worry lines and the maybe shit ain't so great, though they pretend to love each other bullshit that all marriages assume. And then my girl Bethany gonna get all manic and single and desperate for all those years, and finally found Dave and cling to him and talk about marriage after a week. So I don't really think that these two women are the best people to be giving fucking dating advice to anybody.
Okay, so guy number 1 that you shouldn't date, court, or marry is this. Mr. Talk. Mr. Talk is also known as Mr. Smooth. He's the guy that can say he can talk the talk, but he might not necessarily be walking the walk. So for example, he might say, yeah, I love the Lord, I love going to church, I love getting involved, I love reading my Bible, but behind the scenes, he isn't actually really doing those things. He's not consistently going to church, and he's not consistently reading his Bible.
Duh, I mean, most fucking Christians aren't completely brainwashed by this evangelical ideology. Most fucking Christians are still rational people and minor cultists, as I would label them personally. I mean, they're not completely indoctrinated into the cult. They are still able to function as normal human beings. So yeah, some smooth talking dudes are gonna come in and be like, yeah, I read my Bible, I go to church, now let me up in that.
Wow, keeping it short! Yeah!
I mean, seriously, doesn't Kristen talk and speak and sound like she's coming from a personal point of view here. And I'm not even saying that, you know, these smooth talking dudes are the right dudes to be dating. If you've watched me long enough, I talk shit about smooth talking dudes. And I think Christian women are very vulnerable to smooth talking dudes. And I would much prefer young women to be looking for genuine human beings. Find them in their genuine moments. And understand that human beings are human beings and they're not perfect. They're not going to be some perfect image that you have of a human being. Some men are going to get angry. Some men, I mean, we all get angry. We all have emotions. We all fucking, you know, are human beings, yo. So you can't go into it with these predetermined expectations of perfection.
And guy number 2 is Mr. Anger. This is the guy that gets like set off by really small things. It might just be like, you know, driving in a car and someone just barely comes in his other lane and he gets like blows up and gets really mad. Or you say something like, hey, what about this? And then he's like, oh, why do you want to do that? You know, it's a guy that just does not have control of his temper, does not have control over his tongue and his mouth and what he's thinking. And it just like a volcano.
Again, duh. I mean, if a dude is too angry and he can't control his fucking anger issues, don't fucking be with a guy like that. But as I said, every human being gets fucking angry. If somebody jumps out in front of me in my car, guess what I'm doing? I'm fucking road raging, yo. Doesn't mean I'm an angry person. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna punch you in the eye if you back talk me. It just means that this motherfucker cut out in front of me and goddamn it, I'm cussing. That's all it means. I'm a human being. I like cuss words. I use them a lot. If you haven't noticed. But the point is this, how does he express that anger? Is he just cussing? Is he just like, God damn it, motherfucker, why the fuck you gotta be stupid? Or is he getting out of the car and trying to start a fight and physically harm this human being? See, that's what you need to be watching for. You know, actually expressing anger and getting it out of your system is a good thing because you're not holding on to it. I think if you hold on to anger, as I used to do when I was a fucking Christian, I would just push shit down and I'd never talk and I'm a macho man and I'm not gonna express my emotions. And then you fucking explode because you've held all this shit down. It's better to get it out, to express yourself. But how you respond, like if you're gonna respond violently and physically, yeah, get the fuck away from that dude. That's common fucking sense.
And guy number 3 that you definitely shouldn't date, court, or marry is Mr. Struggle. Now, we all have our struggles in life, right? But we're talking about here with Mr. Struggle is a guy who's struggling with big things, and he always says, I'm trying, I'll do better next time, I promise I'm gonna overcome this sin, I promise I'm gonna get better in this area. But as his track record continues, he never actually overcomes those struggles.
In other words, ladies, you know, if you're not catching the hint here, don't date poor people. Because, you know, they're going to have struggles in life and they're not going to be able to overcome them because God doesn't exist and prayer doesn't fucking work. And if you're poor, more than likely you're going to stay poor. So don't date poor people. Even if you love them, even if they're a great human being, be shallow and look for a rich husband like these two ladies are obviously doing.
So for example, maybe pornography, maybe irresponsible spending, maybe just not getting places on time ever, or really managing the relationships in his life or his responsibilities very well.
Again, Kristen has to get personal, I mean, and throw pornography in there like she's had this problem. Kristen, guess what? If he was putting out, he wouldn't have been watching pornography. He'd have been banging that shit. Well, I mean, he'd still be watching pornography, but he'd be banging that shit.
And number 4 is Mr. Obsessed. And now I've been around guys who are like pretty much obsessed with me. They are, you know, I'm basically like the most important thing in their entire world. And you know what? Honestly, it is kind of flattering. Yeah. And if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's who doesn't like a guy giving you like so much attention and just basically treating you like you're the queen of the entire world. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And of course, it's not wrong to be loved and cherished, but we're talking about a guy who is literally obsessed with you. Like you are even more important than God.
Here's where I took the most issue with this video as I watched it last night and was planning on how I was going to respond to it. Is, you know, she's not talking about obsession. She's not talking about crazy motherfuckers stalking her, you know, stalking her family, doing crazy shit trying to get with her, professing that they'll kill themselves if you know, she's not talking about that kind of obsession. What she's talking about is dudes that fell in love with her. that didn't meet her standards or seemed too clingy because they absolutely loved her. You know, and I find that disturbing, you know, because in this society, good guys hardly ever really get ahead. You know, even in these Christian societies, it's usually your alpha males of those Christian societies that dominate the societies, get the best girls. Your more wealthier males that are going to be predominantly a lot more strict, I believe, when it comes to the marriage patriarchy. And that's why I have often said that these girls of Girl Defined preaching to their young women audience is dangerous, because they're actually preaching that these women should seek out these alpha males that are going to believe in this patriarchy. But to say don't date men that love you completely, like so much so that it seems like, oh my God, they might love you more than they love your imaginary friend, that is just bitchy.
And guy number 5 is Mr. Pressure. Mr. Pressure is the guy who is always putting pressure on you to do things that maybe you know you shouldn't do, areas of compromise where you're like, I'm not really sure if that's the right thing. And he's like, come on, just do it. It's not a big deal. Mr. Pressures are everywhere. And we've talked to girls who feel that pressure in their relationship. And they actually feel like if they don't give in to what this guy wants, then he's going to leave them.
Come on, girl, do it. Do it. Your God isn't going to care. You know, and you can go and wash your hands right after. I mean, it's my butthole. It's my butthole, and I'm asking you to put your finger up it, or I'm gonna break up with you.
And guy number 6 is Mr. Unsaved. Now, this is the type of guy. He's cute, he's gentlemanly, he's nice, he
charming.
brings you gifts. He is just like the package deal. Except one problem. He's not a Christian. He is Mr. Unsaved.
And here, clearly, before I ever started making videos about Girl Defined, Bethany had discovered me and understood that even though I'm so handsome and charming, I'm a heathen, and you can't date people like me, so, you know, years later, she would choose Dave over me. Makes sense?
Let's go climb the mountain.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, girls, you can't date us heathens, us free thinkers of the world. I mean, God forbid you learn some science, you learn some reason, you learn some truth in your lives. I mean, God forbid you have earth-shaking sex with an atheist that studied the Karma Sutra and has practiced Tantra and understands the human energy system and our chakras and would meditate and think about, you know, sunsets and flowers and shit with you. Not really. I'm just rambling on trying to be funny. It's not really working. But as we've seen, this stupid shit clearly worked for Bethany and Kristen, the girls of Girl Defined, because Girl Defined has blown up and they have a real ministry and they're making money. And I wanted to do a new video, one of their new videos, but all of their most recent videos has all been their propaganda trying to make money off of their audience. They're having a fucking conference. They're releasing another stupid ass fucking book, Love Defined. I mean, these chicks think that they're some kind of experts, when they're experts of nothing but being members of the evangelical cult. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comment section below. I'll see you soon.